Hello, everybody, and hope you're all well. And hopefully, you aren't all affected much by the snowpocalypse that is going on at the moment in parts of Canada and parts of the U.S. at the moment. Anyways, I said so. We're up to part. I think this is part 4. So, anyways, next, the next in this series that I've been doing on this guitar kit. So, first up, this was a pack of acrylic markers, acrylic paint markers that were water-based dual tip quick drying. For the most part, they're quick drying. So they have two things about them. They have a nice dot type style tip, so a thicker tip, and also a more finer tip that on some of them is very paintbrush like. So that's what I've been using to work on the kit for the coloring is these. I still haven't 100% figured out the colors on what I'm going to show here remaining on the front, but I think I'm going to probably base them on similarly what we did on the headstock. So with that out of the way, I'm sure everyone's been curious. There's again the neck. You got a little bit of white, it looks like something there. No, actually I think it's just the natural wood. So here's what I've come up with for the design on the headstock and what I've already spent a few hours doing, finishing it up. So here's the back of the headstock. And here's the front. So the front kind of gives an idea on what I'd maybe like for the colors to use on the front. We'll take a look at that closer here in a second once I show you the body. So neck's pretty much done and just needs to have will need to be cleared. So the idea here is to do two separate kind of finishes. So I've done this kind of semi kind of pattern along the outer edge to use as a separating barrier, and I went with a waveform psychedelic kind of pattern here on the back with a kind of pastel-y vibe. There's some of this kind of goldish kind of color I've mixed in as well too. You can see it kind of is a little reflective when I turn it. So I've done that. I think I've gotten a little better with the acrylic paint pens in getting better coverage. I notice I'm missing a few spots up here, a few spots up there. I'll correct those later, as well as maybe it's just some dust or something, but I'll go back over it again with the pen later to finish this up. So again, I've drawn some preliminary lines, and I haven't actually lined out this flower pattern I did down here. And I also haven't did this yet. So I have basically, if we go from the top here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 sections here that I have to color in still. I just notice I got some pencil marks. Now, I could actually leave a lot of this. Actually, since I noticed those pencil marks, I don't know how they got there, but let's get those out of the way. Again, the great thing about having the white background is that you actually will be able to get the pencil marks off before actually applying down your paint. Sometimes with the acrylic paint or whatnot, it'll actually come through in the marks. So, like I said, we got 19 sections here, plus this area to do, plus this area to do. So I'm going to attempt to do this and figure out on some patterns or some colors to do the kind of wavy burst form out with. And I'm not sure if I want to do a totally different pattern or if I want to do a similar pattern. I think for sure. I just found another area that looks like it has pencil line through it. I had drawn everything to give it a primary kind of idea, and then initially went over it with the black acrylic paint marker, and in some ways it was a good thing, in other ways it was a bad thing. So now what I need to strategically do is think about my colors. Where do I want to put colors? And I want to kind of pattern them and do in a similar vein to how I did with the headstock to kind of make it a little bit matching. So we're going to need the dark blue and the light blue. So there's two colors there. I can go with a really bright yellow or a slightly darker yellow. I used the bright yellow on the headstock and on the back. I think I want to kind of go with that. Or could go another tint more. There isn't much variety for orange, but that's pretty much, I think, all there is for an orange color. Well, actually, there's this kind of peachy-ish color, so I think maybe I want to go with the darker shades. I think I want to go with a darker purple. trying to think what else here. A darker purple and a lighter purple as well. But like I said, the problem is I want to add some kind of variety to it. So like there's some other purples as well too that I could use for color. So I use a red there. So for sure we're using the blues, an orange and a yellow, and darker purple. That's 5. And I guess we will try to use our dark red again. So now, where am I going to put some primary colors here? How about, since we have these colors picked out, let's put that there. Let's actually lay down orange and yellow. I'm just going to initially probably do 2 of these and then stop the video. I don't want to make the video too long, so we are going to lay out then orange and this orangish color and this yellow. So let's go. Let's go fine tip, and let's start with actually yeah, let's start here actually. So just gonna take the fine tip and just gonna come in and slightly cover up some of this black. Just to allow some better coverage over the black. Went over the line there a little bit, that's okay. So basically I want the black lines to show still, but not so much as what they probably did before. Probably should be using the thicker tip, but I'm just trying to do this to sketch out a rough idea on how it is. So like I was saying, these markers that I got off Amazon, I got them, they were regular, I think $15 for the 28. I got it for $11, and these acrylic markers actually have they kind of got a nice kind of brush aspect to them. I'm not sure how well that's being picked up, but it's actually pressing more like a brush tip than an actual marker tip. So let's switch from the fine to the dot and start coloring in our orange section. You can see the other orange I used down below. Trying to go with a proper direction to make sure it kind of flows better. I noticed that on the wood on this that I kind of you kind of almost have to go with the grain a little bit, and sometimes it kind of fills in better. Just want to see a little bit of the bubbling there. This one's really flowing. Good for the amount of fluid coming out of it. Like, it looks really wet and slick compared to some of the other ones I was using there earlier. Try to cover up some of the spots here so far. So far, so good. Continue on. I don't know if laying down the black lines was a good thing to do with the permanent marker or the paint, but it gave me a better idea on how to the directions that I wanted the waves to flow and whatnot. I think I definitely would be doing a worse job if I was actually trying to paint those with a paintbrush versus these markers. Mind you though, if you don't have a stable hand and your hand shakes a lot, it isn't gonna be too good either. bit more there. A bit more there. So there's our orangish colored laid in. Let's move to the yellow right beside it. And again, use the fine tip to mark over these areas. I'll leave that for the time being. Just want to make that outline around some of these edges. I definitely want to come along, and I think I want to add some more kind of decoration to these little side things here, because some of them I didn't make them very even, which, you know, thinking about it, someone in the 60s probably working on this probably would have been, you know, on some type of substance or something. So there's not a whole lot to be said in regards to like their accuracy on their colors or whatnot. So it shouldn't exactly be perfect per se. So let's see here. All right, back around to the round tip. And again, start from the side and I'll definitely be going over the guitar body after all the paint's dry and try to see if I have any white spots around to try to cover up, because I'm not being able to get with the laying down the color initially. It definitely occurs, as you can see, with these tips and whatnot. Alright, let's just simply come here. Start filling in our color more. This is already at 25 minutes, so it's a good idea that I was planning on trying to do this only a short amount. So let's come back in and start doing along this edge now. All right. So there is two of the primary colors laid down. And the next video I will release up onto the channel will be this finished, and plus the rest of the side finished as well too. So that said, thank you to those of you that stuck around the whole 30 minutes to watched. I will catch you later. Bye for now.